Good evening. This is the Fellaz Sports Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Trey.
And I'm Nappy.
Let's get it started.
All right.
I wanted to bring it up because this is breaking news. Lamarcus Aldridge,
Yeah.
retiring abruptly. Now I just wanted to get your opinion. Do you how do you think this might affect the Nets at this point? Whether it will or not. He just got to the team, but everyone was saying it was a super team and all of that. So what's your input? How do you feel this will go
Well,
be handled?
first and foremost, I just want to say, that's some breaking news, some sad news to hear that he's leaving for these
Definitely.
health reasons. But at the same time, it's also could be a blessing in disguise for him to take that opportunity to step away from the game and take care of himself versus making things worse. So, just
Okay.
want to start off by saying that it sucks
Definitely.
because he is definitely a top talent in the NBA. But hey, listen, health above all, right?
Yeah, 100% agreed. Agreed.
So now in terms of Brooklyn, I'll be very honest
Hmm.
with the limited amount of games he's played for one,
Yeah.
and the limited amount of time he's had to play full squad.
Yeah.
I can't say that it's truly gonna affect their game, their chances that much.
Okay.
Yes, he naturally just based on his name and the roster they have, you look at that squad and like, yeah, for sure they're winning 100%. But they never
Hmm.
really played all together, so you really don't know what kind of chemistry they would have had.
Yeah.
And as unfortunate as it is, we're not gonna have that opportunity to see it.
Yeah.
So I kind of don't see it changing much. Obviously, it kind of helps other teams out a bit more, but I don't think it changes much for them.
Yeah.
Especially again when you're still talking about Durant and Harden and Irving, if they're playing at top level talent basketball, they still have enough with the rest of the team that's there to
Yeah.
potentially take the championship. Obviously, we all know if LA was playing, if Marcus was good, it
Yeah.
changes everything. Unfortunately, he's not there. I feel that if those guys, those three, so I'm not
Hmm.
going to count Griffin, I'm not going to count Jordan and the rest of the team on it. Those three are playing top level ball and able to play together and mesh well.
Yeah.
I still think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And then
Okay.
you throw in a guy like Blake, who, if he even averages 13, 14 points a game, that's more than enough with those three guys easily
Yeah.
putting up 20 apiece. So I don't think it's going to change much, um, just based on the fact, like I said, that they haven't even played together yet. So
Okay. Yeah. No, I
that's my
feel you on
opinion.
that.
What's your take on it? How do you feel?
I agree for the most part that we don't know how he would affect the game or not because they all haven't been healthy at the same time. The only thing I could see it is hurting them though, just because the type of player he was
Hmm.
throughout his career, he's been a quality dominant player. So if you even got one or two games like that from him when let's say the other guys are off, and if that's the type of player that you would need at that moment where he could actually carry a team. So that's the only reason I could see it hurting them, but we don't know. You don't if you never had it, you don't know how it would be if if you lost it.
Hmm.
So I can't say that it's actually hurting them. I could only see it as hurt though, just because it's just an extra firepower, extra man
Hmm.
at an all-star level. Even though he's later on in his career, I'm just saying his name alone at an all-star level. So that sucks. No, I think he actually made the right decision.
Okay.
Again, if your health is in question in anything you're doing, choose health above all. Now, a lot of these free agents have gotten picked up, so they got to actually be looking for someone again.
Man,
So
we listen. For all we know, Boogie could still end up with them because Boogie only signed a 10-day contract,
true,
right?
that is
So
true.
who
That
knows
is
what's
true.
going to happen after 10 days? And
Yeah.
again, don't be surprised. And
Hmm.
remember, world, you heard it here first. If Boogie does get dropped
Hmm.
by the Clippers, he will get picked up by Brooklyn. I'm calling it.
I
I'm calling it
like that one. I
100%.
like that one. I didn't even think about it, but I actually like that one. And that would be smart of them, to be honest. But so speaking of which, once I saw him retiring,
Mhm.
question came in my mind. I'm like, is he a Hall of Fame player? Um, do you think that throughout his career, I'm talking about his career, not his last year or whatever, his career, do you think that he's a Hall of Fame player caliber?
I mean, I could definitely see him being. a Hall of Famer just based on his career stats and consistency.
Yeah.
I just don't think he would be inducted anytime soon. Like
Okay.
he's one of those guys that his name will always come up. He
Hmm.
might be in a bunch of ballots, but to actually be inducted, it might be like 5, 6 years down the road when they're looking at it. And they're like, you know
Hmm.
what? Yeah, like let's go back at his stats. I'm like, okay, so he left under these circumstances, but circumstances aside, he had a
Hmm.
stellar career because at the end of the day, he did have a stellar career. It's not like he was just some guy who was good for 1 or 2 years, fell
Yeah.
off, and then played mediocre after that. Like he was
Yeah.
consistently good every year he played. So
Exactly.
I do think he will be. I just don't think he's going to be one of those names that come up right away. I
Okay.
feel it's going to be quite a few years before he actually does potentially get inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's my
Okay.
take on it.
No, no, and that's honestly probably more realistic to what will happen. But like I said, because I was thinking about it and I looked up his stats, and to be honest, he's a 19, his career average, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, gay player. And then I'm looking at players that are close to that that made it to the Hall of Fame, and pretty much, my favorite player, Tracy McGrady, 19 points, and he made a first ballot. So I'm like, what? Why wouldn't he make? Because when I think of him, I don't think of first ballot Hall of Famer. I do think
Hmm.
of Hall of Famer, but not first ballot. But Tracy made a first ballot, and they both, there's not much difference. Other than one was marketed bigger, like,
That's what it is.
but like both never won a championship. He played 15 years, and out of 15 years, you're averaging close to 20 points a game. It's hard for me to say why he wouldn't be first ballot due to the fact that I've seen other players make it first ballot with same or lesser
Hmm.
numbers. But I agree with you that yeah,
It's the marketing and just that image, right? Like
yeah,
Lamarcus Aldridge has always just been low key dominant player,
yeah,
whereas T Mac he started off low key, even though people
yeah,
knew he had crazy amount of talent, and then
yeah,
boom, jumped to this superstar and was
yeah,
everywhere. All Star game dunk contests,
yeah,
All Star game, and he
yeah,
was just more out there. So I can understand why he would go for his ballot because when you're looking at his name, like, oh yeah, remember when Tracy did? Remember when he dropped 9 points and X amount of
yeah,
set? Like, you know what I mean? Like they take those into consideration.
yeah,
Whereas, even if Lamarcus had a quadruple double, like you know
mm,
what I mean,
yeah,
they might not look at like it'll be in his stats, it'll be there, but they're not going to look at it as highly as a look at
yeah,
something that Tracy would have done based just on statistical facts alone.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
so.
no, no, and I fully agree, and that's what I thought was so crazy because I was he's always been a really good player to,
Hmm.
I guess, really great you could say, but we'll say a really good player. And when you look at his stats, even though he's fallen off a bit, it's still at a 20 point. Like it's
A
like,
20-point clip. Like
yeah,
that's a
how
good
can
number to
you
fall off to.
exactly? How can so? But again, I think he will make it. He might end up being second or third ballot, but just judging by numbers, he deserves to be first. But just wanted to throw that one out there.
Nah, that's actually a really good point. I actually didn't even think. Wasn't
Yeah,
even thinking about a Hall of Fame at this point. But like when you brought it up, yeah,
yeah,
it's very valid. Actually, it's a very valid
exactly.
question.
And it's not like he only played 5 seasons or something,
Nah, nah,
like he's actually a full 15 seasons in and he's able to sustain that.
yeah,
Come on.
because we talk about it a lot, and since this kind of ties in, the injury bug
Mm,
that's going on in
yes,
the NBA seems to have
yes,
taken another victim,
yes,
a
yes,
Canadian
yes.
victim at that.
I know, I know.
When he went down, when
Mm,
Jamal went down, Mr. Murray went down, I knew from the
mm,
minute he made the face,
mm,
it was over. I
yeah,
was like, he tore his ACL. It's done. It's finished, and it sucks because once again, the NBA injury bugs is taking down a player who is doing great
yeah,
at this point of the season, where the numbers are career highs,
yeah,
and now unfortunately we have to take it and dash it out the window because he's looking at a full year. This isn't just like three,
yeah,
4 months. This is a full year recovery. And we always want to sit there and hope that they're going to come back to where they left off.
Exactly.
But let's be real and let's be honest. It's extremely hard and extremely rare to come
Yeah.
back to that form. It takes time to get back to where you are. We've all
Yeah.
known the most recent famous one is Derrick Rose. Look how
Yeah.
long it took him to realize he has to change his game
Exactly.
to better
Exactly.
adapt to his needs.
Yeah.
And I hope Jamal doesn't fall under this category. I'm wishing him
Mm.
nothing but the best, full recovery, and is able to come back.
Mm.
But I don't know if it's maybe just the times either. I find nowadays when these cats are getting hurt, it's like it's one thing after the other, and it seems to take years. Because
Yeah.
you know, outside of the extreme cases like the Baron Davises and all that from back in the days, most
Yeah.
guys when they got hurt, they were literally out for the year, and then they came back. Now, what
Mhm.
they went from there was a
Yeah.
different story, but at least they came back and they were playing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's the milk. I don't think they're
Yeah.
drinking the right milk.
Maybe that might be
That's
it.
just me.
Maybe
But
everybody's
yeah,
drinking almond milk and whatnot. That might not be the same. It might not be the same. You might be
it
right.
definitely not.
But
But I mean, it's just
yeah.
crazy how the bug is taking. It's just taking a lot of people this year. Now
Yeah.
we've known some people are coming back. Davis is coming back, and Embiid is
Yeah.
back. But it's just nuts. I feel like every time we have a conversation, we're
Mm.
talking about somebody going down. Like, you know what I mean? And
100%.
crazy.
And that's the thing. With the Jamal Murray, that's okay, because it was a close enough game, right? It was a close enough game, but I think still coaches need to know when to take their players out. And that's what happened with Derrick Rose. This one is not the same as the Derrick Rose one because it was closer. The game was kind of in hand, but it was still out of reach. Like it was, you could push it, but
You didn't have to.
it's a you live to fight another day type of instance that he should have done. That's like with recently with Brooklyn and Kyrie
Hmm.
when the game was real close and Steve Nash took him out regardless when they were playing Philadelphia because they were only down by 3 and he didn't take him out but he kept him out because he
Hmm.
was like, you know what, we're not going to risk an injury. And that's how you kind of for some reason like you said, the injury bug is real serious this year. I think it's because of the quick turnaround on these guys' bodies. And yeah, you have to play it smart. I feel bad for him, Jamal Murray, but again, speedy recovery. Definitely. But what and to what you were saying about it always seems like one injury after another or something. And I think it's just because you spend so much time trying to heal one aspect, you overdo another part of your body.
Hmm.
So, like what happened with Klay Thompson,
Hmm.
and what I believe happened to KD. Again, it's you're trying to rush it back, you're trying to get back as fast, but you're not fully just you're depending on another part, overcompensating with one part of your body, and by the time the other one heals, that one's messed up.
Hmm.
So again, all of that to say, I fully agree. I think that just it sucks, and but
It's
AD's
crazy.
coming back though, hopefully soon enough. Knock on wood, healthy. And he's actually a wild card because I don't think that it's as small of an injury or downplaying as they are downplaying it to be. He's been out for weeks now, weeks, months. Um, I don't know how he's going to be in the playoffs, to be real about it. And I think that's one of the main reasons they got Drummond, because they're not 100% sure how he's going to bounce back. Uh,
Hmm.
so we'll see, man.
Listen, if they do it right, which
Mhm.
I think under the tutelage of Mr. King James, I think he might not be playing as much in the beginning.
Yeah,
He definitely won't be playing back to backs for whatever back to backs they have.
yeah,
Um, and I truly think it's gonna be incremental as the season goes on. Which in any player, in any situation, and in any case, that should be how it always is. But we both know, and for everybody watching, we watch these sports. You know, someone coming back from an injury. Okay, the first couple of games, you know, let's see how things go, and then before you know it, you're there watching them on the starting five playing 40 out of a possible 48 minutes. Like, you know, you're
yeah,
like, what happened to playing restricted minutes, and
yeah.
you know what I mean. So
I don't
hopefully
know.
they do it right, but you know, It's not our money. We, we
Yeah.
don't really control and have no say
Yeah.
in what teams do. So let's again, like
Yeah.
another player. Let's hope when he does come back, he does come back to
Yeah.
eventually being a stronger player. Because let's be honest, LeBron's scheduled to come back soon too. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So same with him. They might want to go because that's an athlete always wants to go. There's no telling an athlete, no, I can't only play X amount of minutes. I'm
Yeah.
going 100% all the time. Even if you tell them go 40%, they're gonna go 100%.
Yeah.
And with LeBron coming back too, it's like, they have to play it smart. If they don't play it smart, they could potentially, hopefully not, but they could potentially lose both of them due to some other dumb injury because they rush things back.
Yeah.
You
No, no,
know,
I agree. I agree. But speaking of just NBA ball, we're gonna stay on the subject. Steph Curry, he's been on a tear. Last 8 games, averaging like 41 points, averaging no less than like 8 3-pointers.
hmm
Just killing it. I want to ask you, do you think, for one, just fire salute to him, he's killing it. But I want to ask you, do you think there's a chance of him winning the MVP still, with
nah,
about 18 games left in the season?
no,
No?
no.
Okay.
I
Okay,
don't,
okay.
and not because of what he's doing statistically, because for as much as he's doing statistically,
Yeah.
his team still isn't that solid enough to say that what he's doing is truly putting his team over the edge. Listen, they could still make the playoffs.
That's what
Like
I'm saying.
I keep bringing it up, but KG said it best: anything is possible.
Yeah.
Um, if that becomes a scenario where they do make it to the playoffs and they knock off whatever seeds ahead of them,
Yeah.
maybe. But I mean, at that point,
It's too
it's
late.
too late. Like,
They
you know what
already
I mean?
voted.
So it's like
Yeah.
he's playing tremendous basketball. He's playing amazing basketball. I read an article where he
Yeah.
said that it was the other day when he dropped 25 in the quarter,
Yeah.
he was laughing about it because Thompson had dropped an extra 12 points in the same amount of time. And
Mhm.
he said outside of that, he's going and chasing the 3-point record that he has. He's going back after it.
Yeah.
Dude, do what you got to do. I want to see it happen. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for as much as he's doing, him and Draymond alone with the squad they have, considering again injury bug, they just lost James Wiseman. Like, he
Yeah.
just had his
Exactly.
surgery, so he's out for
Yeah.
the season. Yes,
Yeah.
he's a rookie,
But
but
still.
that's basically, well, I'll say half year, but that's still the other half of the year that they're losing,
Yeah.
that he's losing experience. So it's like
No, you're right.
there's not much he listen short of dropping 50 points a game. And even if he does, Harden did the same thing on Houston and still didn't win an MVP. So
No, you're right. You're
I don't
right.
think he'll be anywhere near the top of conversation. He might
Mhm.
be in some people's conversations, but
Yeah.
just based on the direction the team is going, I don't see him winning an MVP. I'll be hella surprised if he
Yeah.
does. If they pick him over an Embiid, over Harden comes back and picks up where he left off,
Yeah.
or even LeBron, if they pick Curry, then hey, listen, kudos,
Mhm.
congratulations, not gonna knock it, but at the same time, I might have to knock it because it's like they didn't even make the
Yeah.
playoffs. Like, you
See.
know what I mean? The team really didn't
Yeah.
improve much.
I agree. I hear everything you're saying, but it's just that when you see, remember, MVP is the most valuable player that on your, like not on your team, but just in general, most valuable player. What you mean to the team is greater than what anybody else means to their team, right? That's what we're assuming. That's what it means. So when Curry's not playing, they're getting blown out by like 40, 50 points. Uh, when he's playing, it's at least like at least we got to see the difference in or what he at least brings to the team. You're right though. They might not even make the playoffs, and I think it'll be like one of the only times, if ever, but one of the only times it's happened that someone's won that. Because again, I don't agree with the play-in.
Yeah, I think that's
So
horrible.
yeah,
It's absolutely horrible.
so for
But
me, it's like even if they make it at the 10th and then they get to the playoffs, for me, you didn't make the playoffs. So
nah,
I don't think you get that MVP
if you're
off
not
of the
1 through 8,
consolation.
you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. That's literally
Exactly.
what it is.
Exactly. So that part, that's why I can't see him winning the MVP if they don't make the playoffs. But I still think that he's probably around. He would be. probably my fourth pick. Like he would still be in the conversation, but I'd have him at like number 4,
I
other
think
than
he would.
Embiid, LeBron, and Harden.
I think he will be in conversations.
Yeah.
I just don't see him winning it.
Okay. Yeah. And I agree with that. I agree with that. And speaking of which, Russ, averaging another triple double. Um, yeah. What
That's
can you
like a
say?
standard for him. I
That's what
feel
I'm
like if he
saying.
doesn't average a triple double, then something's wrong.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
he set
So
such a crazy precedent for a guard
yeah.
to be doing it. That it's like if he doesn't, if I'm watching a game and he doesn't put up a triple double,
Yeah.
I'm calling the game fixed because it doesn't make sense. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's not normal.
And
What used to be not normal was it happening once in a blue moon. Oh man, he
yeah.
got a triple double. That's crazy.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
say Russell Westbrook,
Westbrook,
as you would say,
I don't say it all the time.
when you see him grabbing, even if he scores 10 points and puts
Yeah.
up 18 boards and 13 assists, like that's the norm. Like you
Yeah.
expect that from him. And again, to me, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are
I
crazy
fully agree.
statistics from a guard.
Yeah. I'm telling you. You gotta give him credit. The team still sucks, but overall he's doing his best. So usually like when he was with OKC, I used to say they were like empty numbers and he was
Mhm.
just stat padding. But I'm seeing him with Washington and he's
You
just
come
giving
to realize
everything.
it's not stat padding. That's his game. Like, you
Exactly.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's like one of the few guys who kind of the numbers he puts up in terms of triple doubles. It's almost playground like
Yeah.
he's literally playing pick up playground ball,
Yeah.
but in the NBA. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you
Yeah.
got Irving who does these crazy moves at center third and Curry and all these guys doing that. Like he's doing it
Yeah.
on another level where they might put up 40, 50 points.
Yeah.
Kudos to you. He's like, but I'm gonna get myself a triple double.
Yeah. He's playing like all off hustle, you know?
Literally.
Yeah. So no, I feel you. I feel you. Now, on some sad news, but I'll just start it off. Karim Maine, um, our Montreal Quebecer man, and he got let go from Orlando. Not too happy about that, but they're cleaning house. We've seen what they've done already, so I'm not taking it as personally. Plus, I think that this might be a blessing in disguise.
For sure.
I think he needs to get back to the drawing board and get back his confidence, like what happened to a lot of players. You don't get the minutes when you come in the league, especially since he wasn't drafted. They were giving him, bare minimum minutes. If
Garbage
yeah, if
minutes.
you don't do anything within a minute and a half, you don't play for like the next month. So I think it's good. He'll at least get back to a level where he's the man again, feeling himself, and he'll come back bigger and stronger, man. We're rooting for you. Just wanted to throw that out there. How you feel about it?
Hop on that G League bandwagon, man. Go down
Exactly.
and play there. Don't see that as a demotion. See that
Yeah.
as motivation. Like, you know what I mean? Take that
Exactly.
with stride. Go
Yeah.
down in the G League, like you said, work more on your game.
Yeah.
Be in the gym, be a gym rat. Like, you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
same hustle you put in to get to that point where you are, continue that same hustle. And
Yeah.
you put up them numbers in the G League, not just whatever team that is affiliated to that team you're playing for, is not just
Yeah.
them who's going to come knocking on your door. We don't know what other 30 teams in the NBA is going to come knocking, and
Exactly.
that could be that blessing in disguise, because we've
Yeah.
seen it happen to a bunch of guys who from the G League, and this is even
Yeah.
before the G League became
The G League.
this,
Yeah.
exactly. Now it's like now the G League is becoming more serious,
Yeah.
especially with, remember, like them dropping in a couple years the one and dones. The
Yeah.
G League is a very valuable option instead of
Yeah.
having to go overseas to play. Well,
Yeah.
you had that
Definitely.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't get drafted, you still got signed. It didn't pan out. Again, Orlando's cleaning house, so let's chalk it up to Orlando making a whole bunch of changes
Exactly.
and cutting their loss where they can, take it in stride, G League it up.
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine. I think he'll still have a good career.
I think so
Um,
too. He's extremely young. He's still real young, bro.
isn't he
So
like 20,
yeah,
20,
yeah, like
19,
20.
20?
Like exactly, bro. He's
So
still really young. And that's why it just right now what I've realized with the NBA, they're not giving opportunity to grow. They're not really developing kids. It's like either you have it or you don't. Like we saw it happen with Lonzo Ball. We've seen it happen with so many players. If they're not ready to go, like let's say LaMelo Ball, they're sitting the bench. Or they're just getting cut. That's why it's if he takes it as just a learning experience, realize what he needs to do, realize what he wasn't able to do. I think he's gonna be in great shape. He already is. He's already had the opportunity. It's nothing to get back there, in my opinion. So
Keep your
yeah,
head up, young blood. Keep your head up.
exactly.
Speaking of Canadian products, Lou the Beast.
Oh my guy.
Lou the Beast.
I just want to throw out, didn't I say if they give him the opportunity, he's amazing offensive player? I don't know if
I
you
think
remember me saying this.
here,
I just can't wait until whether it's with the Thunder or with another team, I can't wait until he's able to show his offensive ability because he is a beast. And I don't think that the world or even the team has seen his, well, the team probably has, but the world hasn't seen his offensive ability.
here's what I think. I think
Mhm,
somebody from that organization saw the
mhm.
podcast and was like, wait, let's just see what happens. And
Yeah,
then bang, he dropped 44 on them. Like, you know what I
bro,
mean?
killing it, man. That's my guy, bro.
He dropped 44. And that was a nice 44 too. These
Dude,
weren't just like,
not a
okay, it
luck.
was one off. Like
Exactly.
he was comp bang bang. You know what I mean?
That's
I was
what I'm
like,
saying. He has the talent. They just need to give him the opportunity. And that's what I'm saying. Even about Karim Maine, it's more about opportunity than anything. And if
mm,
you're not coming in ready to go, see again, Lou, he played a year of college, and
mm,
even though it was just 1 year, he realized that you have to do whatever you have to do to get on the court. And that's the thing. Sometimes as a young player, you think you know your game and you try to play your game. In actuality, you have to play the game, which is
facts.
whatever they say goes. And that's what probably I'm assuming happened with Karim. And that's why once he actually realizes the business of it, I think it's gonna be different. But Lou, we'll get back to him, bro. He realized once he gets his opportunity, he's gonna show out. And that
I think
yeah,
it definitely opened OKC's eyes just a little bit more. It's like, okay, let's see. I'm
yeah,
not saying the rest of this year they're gonna
yeah,
throw the ball in his hands,
mm,
but it definitely is gonna
yeah.
potentially shape a different outcome for next year where they're gonna say, you
Of
know what, maybe we
course.
need to design a bit more plays to
Yeah,
include Lou. He's already defensively a beast.
exactly.
You know he's not gonna fail there. And we
Yeah,
know he can score, so let's see. Let's give him the opportunities to actually score and see what he
yeah,
does. Listen, for all we know, it could be the end of the season, and if they ain't going anywhere, they're like, listen, let's like
yeah,
start experimenting now and see where it goes. I hope it goes that way
yeah.
because you never know. They could be 10, 15, they could be like 10 games out of the playoffs with
Hmm.
no chance of making it in. And those are the games, the last few games of the season, they decide to say, you know, let's put the more of the ball in his hands. And they're going to
Yeah.
seem like, yo, he went from scoring 11 points a game to dropping
Hmm.
22, like double his numbers
Yeah.
while still being defensively capable.
That's what,
It could
but
change a lot.
you know who his game reminds me of? Kawhi Leonard. Just the growth of it. Like except faster even than
Yeah,
Kawhi.
I do find, I don't know,
Yeah.
like, I don't mean a sidetrack, but I do find Kawhi plays in slow motion.
Yeah. 100%.
Like,
Just in general,
he
yes, he
really does
definitely
play in
does.
slow
He
motion.
does play in slow motion, but no one can stop him from getting to his spots. That's the
That's true.
crazy thing. Like I find he's basic, no crazy handles, nothing, but you can't stop him from getting that baseline jumper or the side of the key, what a corner of the key, whatever. He gets his shot. And so I don't knock it, but he's a real basic fundamental player that
And there's like none
yeah,
outside of now we're comparing Lou on a
yeah,
slightly faster level,
exactly.
but yeah, but Lou Gaines was yeah, he's
Yeah,
quick, man.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
he's
yeah.
quick at it too. So
He's gonna be a beast,
it's a good
man.
comparison to throw
Yeah.
Kawhi
No,
to.
I could definitely see it. And his like the trajectory is just like I really see it going the same way as long as again with Pop, he had faith in Kawhi, and that's what OKC needs to do with Lou. Just have some faith in him and still let him come along within the system.
Still staying on that Canadian front. Welcome
Mhm.
home, Kim. Although it's not Montreal, but welcome home. It's official.
Yeah.
He's been
Definitely,
playing the last
definitely.
couple of games too.
Yeah.
He looked good in the Raptors red. What I find hilarious though
Yeah.
that he's, and I'm not saying it's his number, but how he's wearing Norman's number. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they just got
Yeah.
rid of the guy and then bang, a new guy
Took
comes in
it.
rocking the number. I was dying of laughter when I first I was like, God
Mhm.
damn. I'm like, but
That's
it is what it
hilarious.
is.
That's
It's not like he's
hilarious.
retired. It's not like, he did
Yeah.
anything funny. I just find it funny
Yeah,
You know.
Montreal do would definitely do that. Montreal do those.
Oh, he go? Man, I'm taking
I'm
his
gonna
number.
take his number, bro. I can't wait till we play them again. But yeah, no, definitely. As we knew and we were hoping would happen, so definitely happy about that.
It's always
And
better when it's official, though.
exactly. And yeah, good. Again, I think he's gonna get more opportunity because
I find
that's
he's
what
already getting more opportunity.
and that's what the Raptors are good at. They're good at least whatever they have, they're gonna try to use to the best of their ability and not
Hmm.
just try to use like the bigger names. So I'm happy for him. I'm sure it's gonna be a good fit because I've yet to see what he's fully capable of. You know, I've
Hmm.
seen sparks, I've seen good, really good defense, but I want to see like when a team actually puts in the time, allows him to get on the block, maybe shoot a hook shot. I want to see what his full offensive repertoire is. So I think it's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah,
Happy to hear this.
I agree 100%. And like you said, especially being on a team like Toronto,
Yeah,
who's been known to be one of the teams that actually utilizes their bench
yeah,
and deep into their bench.
exactly.
He's there, and I can't even say they're going deep into his bench because since he's been there, every time I'm watching or
Yeah,
checking highlights, he's all up and down the court.
yeah,
Like you know what I mean. So
exactly.
so
Good.
it's good to see. It's good to see that he's getting that level of respect.
Yeah, it's
Um,
been a while since we got like a big athletic center, you know what I
yeah.
mean, that plays defense, but most importantly, athletic. It's been a very long time since we had that, so I'm not surprised they're
Mhm.
using him. So no, it's definitely gonna be some good stuff to come, hopefully. Knock on wood. So going back to the Hall of Fame now.
Mm,
You heard Michael Jordan is supposed to be presenting Kobe Bryant his
yep,
Hall of Fame. How do you
yep.
feel about it? Do you think that because I have mixed emotions. Of course, I think it's dope, Michael Jordan, and they were close, but I think Kobe was close with quite a few people that I'm not sure wouldn't have been better to
Well, who do
give
you
it to
think
him.
outside of MJ? Who do you think
Outside of
would have been
MJ,
a
outside of
good fit?
okay, a good fit, and I'm talking about more just like friendships and stuff, right?
Hmm.
I even though this sounds off and crazy, I think Shaq might have been really good to give it to him. Just for like sentimental reasons and what they've been through. I think that could have been a good one. I think again, even though Phil, they didn't get along at some points in times, I think Phil could have been a really good one to give to him too. Again, I like Jordan. It's just that the reason why I'm still on the fence about Jordan is because I only realized how close they were in his
After.
passing, and so therefore it's like I've seen different relationships that were, at that point. Even Kyrie, I'm not saying for Kyrie, but I'm just saying Kyrie was outspoken on him and vice versa. Kobe was outspoken on Kyrie. So I never really I saw the mutual respect between
Hmm.
Jordan and him, but I didn't really see the love that they shared. So, but again, I'm not knocking it. It's just I think I could have seen other people that would have. I think it to me seemed closer at at, at that point. So,
Gotcha.
I mean,
And I'll
yeah,
be honest with you, when I saw it, I was like, okay, I can understand why they would use
yeah,
MJ. Like I mean, it is
yeah.
MJ,
That's what I'm
right?
saying. Exactly.
But I honestly thought in the back of my mind that if anybody was going to be doing it, it would have been Shaq.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
I
I'm
didn't
saying.
see any. I didn't even think about anybody else. I said
Yeah,
when the day comes for them to have the presenter for the Hall of Fame for Kobe,
yeah,
I honestly thought it was going to be Shaq.
yeah.
I didn't think of it. I did not think of Phil. I didn't even think of MJ. Like you know what I
That's what
mean.
I'm
The
saying.
only other person I would have thought of was his wife.
His wife. I even would have thought of Tracy McGrady
Like
because when you hear of how close they were and all this stuff, like again, these were. I know it's not every relationship's for us to know about, so I
exactly.
take that into account. But I'm just saying, what comes to mind is the people that you knew were
Hmm.
in his circle and that close. So
Yeah. I honestly thought it was going to be Shaq, and
yeah,
for you know, especially the reasons because more than Jordan, like you said, everyone knew the history between
yeah,
Shaq and Kobe.
exactly.
It wasn't always love,
Yeah,
but it wasn't always. hate. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Listen, you're gonna be teammates with people. If you play a sport, you're not always gonna like the person that you're
Hmm.
playing with, but there comes a time where things just work, or things work off camera that we still don't even know about. Remember, the way media works is they only let you see what they want you to see.
Yeah, that's true.
At least they were open enough about it at times to talk about, okay, yeah, we had an argument.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? No, we're cool, like this and the third. Okay, the beef is officially squashed, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I just felt that for this situation, I still feel that Shaq would be better than MJ.
That's what I'm saying. But again, we don't know the degree, right? So that's
Yeah.
the only reason why I'm still saying. But I just on the outward looking in, I see the same thing.
Because I don't even know if there's like specific rules to who the presenters can legitimately be. Like,
Hmm.
it's obviously past inductees
Okay.
to Hall of Fame. Because I was looking at the list of everyone that's going through, and everyone who's presenting to someone,
Yeah.
they're actually already in the Hall of Fame. So I don't know
Yeah.
if it's a question of, you know,
Yeah.
teams, because I see like some are related to Houston, like
Yeah.
Olajuwon's and one of the presenters and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and it's related to someone
Yeah.
related to
Well,
Houston. So
everybody that we
I'm not.
stated is pretty much, other than when I say Kyrie, it was really close, but everybody is Hall of Famers. So
So
yeah, no, but
um
yeah,
yeah,
I get you. And again, it's not a knock. It's more just I wasn't expecting the Michael Jordan. You can't go wrong with Jordan. It's just that I thought there was other people that was probably closer or instrumental in his career. You know
well,
what I
all
mean?
I know is that when they decide to induct me into the Hall of Fame, I would like Mr. Trey
Of
to induct me
course,
into the
man. I
Hall of Fame.
got you, bro. You know how
All right,
we
cool.
do.
As long as y'all know and you know, with anybody else, I won't be upset. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I got you. I got you, man. I'm gonna give you the best speech ever, bro. Best speech ever, bro.
So I don't know if you saw. I'm pretty
Mm.
sure you saw it. I don't see the situation where you didn't see this, but
Okay.
I was like, when I saw it, yo, Luka and that
Oh,
buzzer beater.
yeah.
That was some fluke stuff.
100%. 100%.
But at the same time, I'm like, if it's going to happen to anyone, it's going to happen to him. Like, he would
Yeah,
make that kind of a shot.
yeah. Definitely
Like,
unorthodox.
like
Definitely
who
unorthodox.
he's on his way down
Yeah, yeah,
to win the game.
yeah.
And it
You're
wasn't even
right.
like it
You're right.
rattled in. It didn't rattle in. It didn't hit glass. That
No,
was a swish.
yeah.
How do you practice that?
He ain't practiced that. I think we all know he ain't practiced that. He ain't
I mean,
practiced that.
I mean, you
But
saw the video clip of him doing the soccer drills behind
yeah,
the net and then just chucking it from behind the net.
some people just have that skill level. That's the thing. I think he just has that skill level where he it's just in your mind. You plan things out. So he kind of knew to arc it high. That's what I think. But I don't think if he practices
You
that, bro, then
you really think it even at that? I honestly believe
hmm,
in that scenario, that situation, and how it happened. I honestly think it's luck. I don't think there's anything about
I think
calculating
oh
anything. He was
I
going down.
think
He
there's
said, "Just chuck it up." That's literally what it is.
no,
Because
I
the
feel
worst thing
you.
you could do is not shoot.
No,
You have a
100%.
50% chance of making every shot you take, right?
100%. But I'm just saying that let me put it this way, right? Like even when you're shooting from half court or beyond, which we've all done, you still put a degree as much as you can. A lot of it is a push, but you put as much as you can into the estimation. And I think the same thing. As he's going down, you still muscle memory, like you estimating out, like, let me. And I'm not saying it's not luck, but what I'm saying is that I'd still give it the not because of the falling shot. I'd give it a 10% on the skill of you your body knows, in my opinion, because I've taken random shots, and your body just knows like how to kind of switch it up a bit, and you hope that it'll go right. Like you hope it'll go in, but you still adjust your shot to make it go that way.
I hear you, but I mean,
No,
in situations like that, I'm still on the side of luck more than anything else. I think it
mhm.
becomes too critical of a situation to even try to overthink. Your mindset is just chuck it up and hope for
No,
the
no. I'm
best.
saying I not overthinking muscle memory. That's what I'm saying. I think it's more of the muscle memory. You're not. You're not thinking about it. You're not like, okay, if the wind's blowing this way, let me. No, I
First of
think
all,
it's more just.
if there's wind in a stadium, there's something wrong.
Hey, there were bats in the stadium before, so I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
but there's bats and
But
birds. You
then,
don't
so
change
they,
nothing.
but I'm just saying, like it was. Hey, I could just be. I somewhat think about every scenario, and I can see a scenario where I'm not saying he planned it like that.
No,
I'm
he
sure
definitely
he
didn't plan it.
I'm
I'm
sure he would
just
have been happy if it would have hit the backboard and went in. So I'm not saying like any of that was how he drew it up. But all I'm saying is when you're in the position, you kind of you do your best to like again, you're shooting a half court shot. You're That's not something you practice every day. But in the position, you're still gonna boom and you're still gonna you're not gonna fully just push it like that. You're still gonna you're gonna push it enough for that you think it's gonna feel good leaving your hand to drop. It might hit off the backboard and go in. But you in your mind, you're still shooting it to the you understand what I mean? The estimation
I
that
got
you're
you.
giving it.
I got you. So what was Carlton's excuse in Fresh Prince, huh?
He didn't pass it to Will.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like we saw it in slow mo. He caught that bag. He's like, okay, he had time to estimate that, and he completely botched that.
Bro, listen. One time I had a basketball game, right? To win the game. Boom. It was a tie game, so it was really just to win the game. Boom. Inbounds, get the ball. Boom. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Drive to get to my spot. Dude, money. It was like boom off the backboard, just like that. But my other player was there, caught the rebound, put it up, scored. We won the game, bro. My point is, it felt good, and I estimated. I had it, bro. Like it was money leaving my hand, bro.
Did you turn around and point to your teammates, like, "Ha ha"? They're like, "No, Trey, you messed it."
No, I was upset. I was upset, bro. And then the coach had to come to me like, "Yo, it's all good. Yo, we won. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy about that."
Yeah,
but,
y'all won. I didn't win. Y'all won.
Right? But my point is that you still shoot it to what you believe. And that's what I think happened. He shot it to what he believed, but it was still luck. No one can say it's not luck, but I still think there was a bit of skill in it. That's all I was saying.
Let's agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree.
Perfect.
But you think it's just 100%? You think it's 100% just luck?
I do. I honestly do.
Really?
The same thing with half court shots. It's a 50% chance it's going in. And there's for me there's still a difference. There's a difference between taking a wide open full court half court shot versus a defensive one.
Okay.
This wasn't I lost the ball and I'm reaching for it, and like he had defenders and he was going down and he literally put it up. I understand what you're saying about the skill level, the skill set and whatnot, but the shot itself was fluke. I don't care what anyone says.
I agree. Okay, but let me put it this way. So let's say we switch it out from Luka to Curry. Would you still say it was luck?
In that exact same situation? Hell yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't. I would not.
You think so then you think Curry practices that shit.
I would say that Curry again knows these like he knows his shot, he knows his angle. I think some people are like tic-tac-ticians. You know what I mean? I heard that in a rap song. So I think some people are no, but I think some people like again Curry best shooter ever. So I think he really understands, you know, the way he needs to shoot his shot to give it a chance of going in. And that's the best way I'll put it. I think Doncic, the skill that he had was just giving his shot a chance to go in. Not just shooting it, but the way he shot it is a certain way you give yourself a chance to go in. And that's the same way. That's how best way I'll put it. So I give it like even though I give it a 95% luck and a 5% skill.
Who was it? Was Ja Morant when he was guarding him?
Yeah.
Yo, first of all, I know Ja Morant can play defense, but he was keeping up with Luka.
Really
and
good.
Luka still drained that shot.
Yeah, really.
To the point he's like, dude, nice, like tough shot, but I was in your face though. Like I was in your face. I was like, no, he really was in his face.
He really
and still made that. Like that's a good defender
Yeah.
and a great offensive player
Yeah.
making a basket. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, dang, cool.
But
I see you, Luka. I see you.
in Ja's defense though, he's like about 6 inches taller. You know, like so even though
Facts, but that was still great
but
defense.
no, it was really
He
good.
was
No,
right
but I'm
there.
just
Like, you
saying
know what I
that's why I'm saying in Ja's defense, you know what I mean? But he's just like, get off me, man. Like playing with playing against your kids is like you know, but no, you're right though. It was definitely a good shot. And it was really good defense. I was actually shocked on how good that defense was. I didn't
Yeah,
even
that
know
was
people play defense like that anymore. To be
especially in the
honest.
NBA.
That's what I'm saying. So
You still see it in the high school
yeah,
and
definitely. Yeah,
college, but NBA, what
not
is
at all.
defense?
Yeah, and he was actually keeping up with him, no fouls, but still putting his body on him. It was
Yep.
good. It was definitely good. No,
All right, so I'm gonna switch it up now. I'm gonna go back to, I'm not gonna say my bread and butter, but it's just my sport that I prefer to play, baseball. I don't know
yeah,
if you've been keeping tabs, but there's been another no hitter pitched in
yeah,
baseball. Carlos Rondon for the White Sox. Now he was this close to a perfect game,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
it was ruined
Hmm.
by him hitting the batter in the foot.
yeah, 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 yeah. Mental
Listen,
breakdown. I don't know what happened there, bro.
I think he even said, he's like, once he was being interviewed, he goes, if there's anything that you could have changed the game, what would it be? He was like, hitting the guy in the foot, obviously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then another question was, when did you realize how serious, like, the circumstances that you were currently found yourself in throughout the game was? He
Hmm.
goes, when I hit him in the foot. Like, you know what I mean? And honestly, I was dying of laughter. I'm like, I can
Yeah,
see where it would change for him, because
yeah.
there's a certain focus you have when you're playing that,
Hmm.
listen, I don't care who you are. Uh, when you're pitching and you're on the brink of history, you
Hmm.
know it.
Yeah,
It's just not feeding into it. So you always try to keep that mindset to where you are, and
yeah.
you try not to overthink it. And it's always, as the game goes on, the more nerve wracking it
Of
gets.
course,
It
of
gets nerve
course.
wracking for you as the pitcher, as calm and
Yeah,
collected as you might be, and as calm and collected you might think they are, but they're
yeah,
freaking out inside,
yeah.
right? Your teammates are like, listen, if that ball's hit, I can't mess it up, because if I
Like,
mess it up, I'm ruining history here. So
yeah,
there's like nerves galore, and this year alone there's already been another one, like, you know
yeah,
what I mean, and this
yeah,
is the
yeah.
first 2.5 weeks of baseball.
Right? It's
this is
crazy.
this is crazy. And
But
one of the
yeah,
funniest things I've seen, I
yeah.
don't mean to cut you off,
No,
is
no, it's okay.
in my team baseball chat, I saw an
Mm.
article talking about they're thinking about moving the pitcher's mound back.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's because now they're finding there's too much strikeouts,
Yeah. Pitcher's
which is
becoming too
funny
dominant.
because the year before there was too many home runs. Which
Yeah.
one is it? Do you want more home runs
Mhm.
or more strikeouts? Because
Yeah.
clearly they don't want either, but they want the batter to have a bit more of a chance to put the ball in play, because they're saying it reduces it. I think
Mhm.
it's 1.2 seconds or something like that is what
Yeah.
it gives you in terms of time to react. It might
Yeah.
even be less. It might even be a lot less than that. I might be screwing up the numbers there, but
Yeah.
why mess with the sport, man? Leave the sport alone.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Leave the pitcher where it is. Pitchers are getting stronger and more dominant,
Mhm.
but the batters are getting equally as good. Like, these up and coming kids that are coming up, they're no joke. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So don't
Oh.
take that away, because what's going to happen is
Mhm.
situations like Carlos Rondon isn't going to happen if you start messing with the game. Like, you know what I mean? And okay, so I
Okay.
pitch.
Go ahead.
I mean,
Yeah.
not so much anymore. Bad shoulder.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have gotten a no hitter, and I'm not going to count being 9, 10 years old as, oh, I pitched 5 innings and no hits and struck out 15 guys, or whatever the case may be. I'm
Yeah.
not counting that. I'm talking like when you're playing at a serious level, competitive level as a
Mhm.
pitcher. It's what you want. It's
Yeah.
what you strive to do. You want to be able to say that you pitched once in your life a no hitter. You pitched
Yeah.
once in your life even a perfect game.
But okay. So I'll play devil's advocate. Within the last like 2 weeks, there's been two no hitters. Does that mean there is somewhat a problem? Because it's never been this frequent that people get no hitters like that. It's
Beginning
usually
of the
a
season.
once in a season thing, twice in a season thing at most, and it's been twice in like the first 2 weeks. Uh, there might be a problem. Nah.
I'm calling beginning of the season. I'm calling the games
Hmm.
changing and evolving. Next thing you know, we're gonna hear, oh, the balls were they're using different baseballs this year. Like, you know what I mean? I don't
Mm.
know. Come with some BS excuse.
Yeah.
I really don't think that's what it is. I think it's you caught a pitcher on a really good day,
Yeah.
and the opposing team just not being able to adapt to the pitcher having a really good day.
Okay. Hey, I'm
That's
not
what it is.
knocking it, and I think that that could be the case. It's just that a lot of weird things are happening since this pandemic, and and you're seeing these pitchers just dominating right now. Again, he almost had a perfect game
Almost.
if it wasn't for his mental slip up. Like that's wild. So I'm just saying it's hey, I don't know. I don't know how the game is evolving. I don't know how it's going to evolve. But all I'm saying is if there's 3 to 4 more no hitters in the next month, there's a problem that, that we have to
And you
admit
know
there's
what?
a problem.
We'll address it at that point, and we'll really
Okay.
we'll dig in and we'll look into it. I personally don't
Okay.
believe there is. I believe it's
Mhm.
just, like any sport, there's always things that from time to time are anomalies, and this is
Mhm.
one of them right now. It's
Okay.
in the first couple of weeks of baseball, we've already had 2 no hitters.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
pretty crazy. You
Yeah.
know, usually you don't even get that. You only get that in a month.
That's what I'm
You know what
saying.
I mean? So again, I'm gonna chalk it up to it's just pitchers being on their game and the offense being caught off guard.
Okay. Okay.
For women's college softball,
Mhm.
girl did the same thing, perfect games. Like, you
Okay.
know what I mean? Now, I'm not sure if it just recently happened, but I saw the article
Yeah.
and I've heard it's not the first time it's happened in college ball either. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like,
I feel you.
sometimes when you're on, you're on. It's no different than let's jump back to basketball.
Mhm.
Kobe dropping 81 on the Raptors all them years
Yeah.
ago. Kobe was on. Like there was nothing you could
I
do about
feel
it.
you. But if Kobe came back and dropped 82
The
within the
next
next two
day,
weeks, I'd be like, hey, there's something going on. Like either nobody played defense
he's
or we need
deflating the basketballs.
right. So that's what I'm saying. There's and again, who knows? Like you just said, could be an anomaly. It could be like these are the only two that happen for the season. Who knows what happened? But it's just it's strange to see. That's all I'm
Listen,
saying.
as long as there's no, you know,
Hmm.
illegal activities going on,
Yeah.
we might get a couple more this season. I wouldn't put it past the MLB. You're
Yeah.
talking each team plays 162 games. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again for another team. I
Okay.
really wouldn't be surprised if it hits a record this year because again, with everything they're talking about, saying, "Oh, we want to push the mound back,"
Yeah.
who knows? They're going to go through all that and then they're going to find something else to change. Like apparently at one point they were using technology where a machine or a robot would call the balls and strikes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that
Wow.
project, as far as I know, it's failed. I don't
Yeah,
want
it
to sit there
sounds
and
like
hear, you know what I mean? Like,
no, no, no.
no,
That takes
listen,
all the fun out of it, man. You need to,
exactly. I want an
yeah,
umpire to make a mistake.
exact.
Not when I'm playing though. When
No,
I'm
no,
playing,
but
you
in
got to be on
general,
point.
but you
You
need
got to be on
you
point.
need
But
something to argue about. You need something to
exactly.
debate about. If
We're,
it's yeah,
and for me, it's not baseball if you're not arguing with somebody.
exactly. I agree.
Just
I
my
agree.
opinion.
Again, I've never, I've been into baseball for quite a few years, paid attention, and I've never seen something like this happening so early in the season. To like, this is wild to me. So, but we do have to sit back and watch and let's see what transpires. So, I agree. I agree. Isaiah Thomas got cut from the Pelicans.
Did he
That
actually? I didn't.
yeah,
That actually did not pop up.
yeah. Isaiah
Why?
Thomas.
Why again? Why are people not putting respect on his name?
Yeah, I
I don't
know. It
understand
makes
it.
no sense. It makes no sense.
I really don't. Like, I truly believe they forget that he is a very good basketball player.
I want a team again. I know I keep throwing out this team, but I want a team like what you call it, like the Warriors to take them up. You have nothing to gain this year. You might as well give a player like that a shot. A person that if he is anything close to what he used to be, instant offense. You
Hmm.
might as well get somebody like that coming off the bench when Curry, because that's what happens. They struggle every time Curry's off the floor. You
Hmm.
get Isiah Thomas, if he is close to what he used to be, bro, you could actually make a serious run.
And I think in order for him to get close to what he used to be, he has to play.
Exactly,
There's no amount you
exactly.
can practice in the gym all you want. You can put yourself in gym practice shape until you're
Yeah,
game ready shape and consistently game ready shape.
yeah.
It's always going to look bad. If they thought that he was going to come and play for them and
Mhm.
play first two games and drop even 15 points a game, yeah, they're
Yeah,
sick in their head.
I agree. I agree.
You know,
I
the
feel
guy's
bad
coming
for
off
him though.
almost what, like almost 2, 3 years of not solidly playing in the NBA.
Exactly. Like just getting no play time, being cut, no getting chat. Yeah. So no, I feel bad for him though. Again, he's had a raw deal. And we're talking about millionaires that got raw deals, but in
You know what I
in
mean?
context, in the actual what we're talking about, he got a raw deal in the whole.
I
So
mean, he's still unemployed, so
exactly unemployed, and when he gave a team his all, they pretty much shot him away.
you know what I mean?
So, yeah. So I wanted to see him get at least a fair shot. I don't think he's received a fair shot since he left the Celtics.
Yeah, Boston.
That's it. And I think though one of the only teams, there's going to be a couple of teams, but at least teams that are on the border of contending, even though they're not, would be the Warriors that could at least give him a fair shot and he could show what he can do where they need it. Because
Hmm.
again, they have no real scorers after once Curry's on the bench. So that's a perfect position for him. That's all he really wants to do. He ain't trying to play defense. He ain't trying to, so like that's what you'd bring him in for. Just take
Just
as
put up
much
some
shots as you
numbers.
need. Exactly. You could leave us a message or follow us on thefellaz.com, and that's DAFELLAZ.com, as well as our YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, share, and leave us a comment. We
Please
will
and thank you.
exactly. We read everything, and you might just hear us speaking about it. Um, Once again, I'm your host Trey.
I'm nappy.
It's the Fellow Sports Podcast. We in these streets.